What's up, my little channels? Welcome back. Listen, let's jump right into it. As you guys know, Rob and Chyna's case is starting next week for Revenge P. Now listen, I got some good news and I got some bad news for everybody. The good news is, I'll just get right to the point, give you the plot. I'm gonna be covering it. The bad news, the trial actually might be delayed. I have some insider information on that we gotta get to. And the worst of the bad news is Judge Alcaron will be the same judge presiding over the case. But you know what? My sources gave him a new nickname, Judge a Liar and a Con. Instead of Alcaron, Judge a Liar and a Con will be the same judge presiding over it. But we got some inside tea on that too. Okay, let's get into the drama between Rob and Chyna's case coming up. I already gave you guys the good news. I'm gonna be covering it. The bad news, Judge a Liar and a Con allegedly will also be involved. However, here's directly from my sources. On the upcoming trial, one could assume by what has happened that Blac Chyna would be crazy to go through another trial with the Honorable Judge Liar and the Con presiding. Yet that is exactly what is on the docket. There were rumors. We checked it out. We confirmed Judge Alcaron is going to be the same judge on the case. I know, that's what I said, like, K-Tyler, right? How can that happen? However, why is this such a big deal? For those of you guys that haven't been following, let's get into it. Judge Liar and Khan has already shown us that he's tone deaf when it comes to feminine rights and betrayed the fairness of the court. What am I talking about? Well, one of the things that Chyna herself, out of her mouth, has said that she is appealing is the fact that Chyna's nude pics that were leaked, that both parties agreed in a motion in limine would never be shown in court, and there was a court order that it would not be shown. He bought those nude photos into the court, left them laying around when the jury could have saw it, and also when Chyna was testifying, showed her those pictures so that it broke her down, humiliated, and threw her testimony off when it came to the financial matters. As we know from what the we'll get into it later, what the jury has said, the financial matters and the way she couldn't clearly describe her damages, the way there wasn't an expert coming in, and that lie that Michael Rhodes told about Chyna being in trouble with the IRS is one of the key factors why the jury was like, yeah, that doesn't sit well with us. How did you cheat the IRS, but yet you're sitting here asking for millions? Again, we'll get into that, right? But the fact that Judge Alcaron didn't even sanction him and didn't think it was a big deal for a woman to be humiliated by Revenge P that she is suing for because it costs her so much emotional distress, it blows my mind. But I agree with my sources. It does show that he is tone deaf with feminine rights, right? Anyone that willingly goes back to that abusive court would literally be insane. One could argue, right? One could argue that and surmise and advocate that the judge should be replaced in the upcoming trial. Again, the plaintiff should ask the judge to recuse himself. And if he doesn't, and he won't, that is grounds for a right to appeal right then and there. Now, of course, you're not going to appeal right then and there, but you ask the judge to recuse yourself. If the judge refuses to, when the trial is over, if you do not get the results you want, that is grounds for an appeal right then and there. So whether or not Chyna wins or loses this case, guess what? There is an appeal. Now, you might think that this would be one of the things that Chyna is planning to do. My sources are saying that if Chyna, a woman of her word, goes by what it is assumed what has been in line, and even with the appeal and even being very astute, because here's the thing in court is like sports, right? I think Chyna did fantastic. I think Chyna did fantastic testifying. I think she did a great job. But in sports, nobody does things perfectly. Do I think that Chyna should have carried a $40,000 purse? No. But that said, I didn't know that guy Michael Rhodes would be so petty as to bring up Chyna's purse. And you know they brought it up because Kim and them didn't know she was going to carry that purse. But they were probably sitting there and was like, she's in there with a $40,000 purse. You should say something about that, Michael. And Michael said, ooh, good job. It is a lot like sports. Things move. A lot of things that you did wrong is hindsight 2020. But the best lawyers and the most astute lawyers see what they did good, what they did wrong, and they get on it. Chyna seems to be like that type of lawyer. Anyway, they are saying that Lynn, it looks like if the way she's moving, will try to get the judge to recuse himself. Recuse is when you say, okay, I'm not going to work on the case, and a new judge is appointed. It's basically saying pass, like I pass, right? You do it, right? She promises and vows that she's not going to subject Angela to the same tone-deaf attitudes and Cro-Magnon thinking of Judge a liar and a con. You guys, that is fantastic news. Now let's get into the other half of this where all the hate is coming from. Y'all ready for this? So, listen, I know there's a lot of people mad. I know a lot of people wanted Blac Chyna to lose. I know a lot of people don't do the research and read past the headlines, but I want to actually just reiterate the truth. Chyna did not win damages. However, damages, like all jury awards, can be appealed. On the key claims that Chyna needs to appeal the jury award, Chyna won. Chyna won. Chyna won. This isn't my hearsay. This isn't me making up. This isn't me reporting fake news. This is directly from Chyna's lawyer, who issued press releases to every major outlet. And also, if you get the jury instructions are right there. The jurors have also done multiple interviews where they are saying the same thing. We're going to get into that. But before we do, hit that like, subscribe button. And if you're really about that life, hit that notifications. I am getting a lot of insider information again. And it's coming to me in drips because they have lives and they're speaking to bigger media outlets. That doesn't matter. When I get you guys the information, you guys are going to get the information. And lucky for you, I have that information today. Also, don't forget, I have my special members only live tomorrow. We are going to be talking about Rob and Chyna's Revenge P case. We're also going to be talking about some behind the scenes stuff of what happened in the Kardashian case. And you guys will get the chance to call in, chop it up, bust it up. And we're also going to be talking a little bit reality TV gossip. Okay. I'll get to why you guys got here. I can hear you guys being like, boo, shut up. We came here for some tea. All right, y'all, let's get into this tea. Now let's first talk about Rob. Actually, let's get into why everybody's so mad. Listen, these are the facts. Chyna did not get awarded damages. That is fine. Damages can be appealed. Her lawyer has vowed to appeal. Facts. Whether y'all like it or not, I'll go through this quickly. The jury reached the verdict that Chyna beating Rob up was not true, and on all counts was substantially not true. Okay? This is going to be huge in the case coming up for the Revenge P. I know a lot of people are mad. I know a lot of dummies are on my channel talking about, it's horrible. You would downplay the domestic violence to a man. First of all, knock it off. I'm not that dense. I would never downplay anybody being hurt for any reason. However, the jury that you guys are so big saying, ooh, Chyna lost, also said they found Rob not credible and they did not find that she beat the S out of Rob's face. So Blac Chyna can actually take this ruling and use it in her next case. Second of all, they found Kylie's statement that Chyna will proceed with using and physically abusing my brother wasn't true. She can use that too. They reached a verdict that all four defendants did not act reasonably or in good faith to protect their own economic interests. Listen, they had to go back to the room to deliberate. But what's more, the judge incorrectly said at the beginning it was defamation per se, then said he was not adding defamation to the jury trials when he literally at the beginning of the trial. Again, I'm not going to get into this with legal jargon, but it was a big no-no for the judge. He basically said, yeah, I believe it happened. Then at the end said, but I'm not putting it on a jury trial. It doesn't make sense. Where did you make the mistake? This is appealable issues. They also made reversible, by not taking any type of action to sanction or punish defendant's counsel for bringing in evidence into the courtroom that everybody agreed would not be allowed. He also let them say a highly prejudicial, punitive, and baseless jury instruction. He also let Michael Rhodes in his closing argument say that, and I quote, this is directly from a juror's mouth. This is directly from a juror's mouth. Listen, you guys, if you're new to my channel, you'll know this. I like to talk mess. I like to talk ish. I like to do whatever. But everything I'm going to tell you is based on something that I have read or heard. And I'm going to give you what my sources are. And you can make your own opinion. But to actually sit there and say that I'd be so lazy just to make things up off the top of my head, first of all, beloved, I'm too smart for that. I will just say, because you don't got to make up things in real life. The truth is always stronger than fiction. Who got to make up what? Let's get into it. The jury literally said, Michael Rhodes said on the stand, you can't give her a nickel. You're going to reward that behavior. You cheated the government, but we're going to give you millions of dollars. This is in Michael Rhodes' closing statements. If you don't know, Michael Rhodes is the Kardashian attorney. Get this. Lynn literally went on to say, Chyna was never told by the IRS she was doing anything wrong. And she'll get right with that. Don't let that distract you from the facts. But one juror said that the missing financial records were an issue. We thought it was kind of weird she didn't submit the taxes. That was something we had in the back of our minds. Get this. The jury is also saying that they let things that did not have to do with the facts at hand literally interfere with their ability. It doesn't matter whether Chyna owed somebody $6 million. It doesn't matter if she was in trouble with the IRS for tax fraud, which I just want to say for everyone that just, I get it. For some reason, it's sad. There are some people that just want Blac Chyna to be the bad guy. Do you know when you don't file taxes, you can file extensions to the IRS? Do you know that, again, maybe because it's people don't know the way business taxes go, you file extensions. They give you up to 3 years. Sometimes you can even get an extension past those 3 years. To literally sit there and say that Blac Chyna is a tax cheat, is a tax fraud, is somehow on the run for the IRS, or make it seem like she did something illegal because she didn't file taxes is utterly absurd. Clearly she got an extension on the taxes, and clearly the IRS does not have her under an audit, and the IRS has not assessed penalties. But the fact that Michael Rhodes was able to say that in court, and the fact that the jurors used that in a decision, doesn't matter if Chyna owes the IRS $5 billion. Her getting damages is a way for her to pay these back taxes that supposedly people are trying to say she owes, even though her lawyer said in court under penalty of perjury, she was never told by the IRS she was doing anything wrong. She is not being investigated by the IRS. She is not under audit, and she's not under any type of thing for non-payment of taxes or back taxes. And if you look at what Michael Rhodes said, right? You can't give her a nickel. You're going to reward that behavior. You cheated the government. She never cheated the government. The government never even said. So why was he allowed to say that? The judge should have jumped in right there. And then we're going to give you millions of dollars again. Judge Alcaron, and it seems like the way he doesn't understand the law came in handy with Michael Rhodes, because Michael Rhodes was doing a bunch of things that most lawyers would look at as unscrupulous, and at the very most would look at as unethical. You guys, listen. Again, when the jurors were pressed on why they made their decisions, they had to go back in the room for 4 separate things 3 times to figure out why they made their decision, because they didn't understand the jury instructions. That's also another big no-no in legal cases. All right, y'all. So anyway, I hope that clears up a lot of stuff for a lot of people. Y'all, it is not over. Blac Chyna has 60 days to appeal. Expect this appeal coming. Lynn Chyna has vowed on it. I thought, from talking to my legal people, it will more likely be a mistrial. However, for whatever reason, Lynn and Chyna have decided to move with an appeal, which is their right. This case is far from over. Blac Chyna is appealing the verdict She's peeling a lot of things. And most importantly, they're going to make sure that Judge Alcaron does not preside over this trial. Fingers crossed they get this way. All right, my little Tattletales, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.